What are you doing?
Giving the dog a dog treat before we
Why are
leave.
you doing that?
I put peanut butter on a pretzel. It gives you something to do while we're gone.
She never gives me peanut butter on pretzel.
You know what? Yes, I give you pretzels and cheese and apples.
I only have one question though, Coach Vic. Why don't you share your peanut butter with me?
Because you like peanut butter and I don't want to make you happy.
All right, there you have it. So today, Coach Vic and I are going to be getting on the CanAm. We're going to Lake Talquin. Isn't that where we are?
Yes, Lake Talquin.
And what's the name of this place?
Oh, country... I don't remember.
Country Boys.
Country Boys.
You think?
I found it, my idea, Lake Talquin, my idea. I'm the one that found it.
Imagine she likes it and it's Country Boys.
And we'll go show y'all Lake Talquin. It's beautiful.
She likes Country Boys. That's what I'm saying.
Anyway, I was gonna try to put a Halloween costume on, but Coach Bob didn't go for it.
I thought you were dressed up as Cheryl Teague's supermodel.
Yeah. I was gonna dress up as a ghost, but I didn't have any orange t-shirts, so I couldn't be a pumpkin.
Well, I dressed up as a boomer.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. In case y'all see this. This is from my older daughter, Allie. Came home. I mean, she doesn't live at home right now. She lives
In her house.
in her own little house. She came to visit, and then she went to Publix and thought about me and brought me some pink roses and dark chocolate kisses. Yay! Good job, Allie. I love pink roses. I love flowers. If anyone wants to send me flowers, I love flowers.
I think that's a hint for me. I don't think that's for y'all. I think that's for me. Oh, let's get on the Spyder. I know what you're saying. You're saying, man, is it November there in Florida? And the answer is yes, it is November here in Florida. And we just don't mind November at all. Do you know November, Coach? Do you hate November?
No, I just don't want to be really cold.
Opal has on her sweater. You're a Florida dog, aren't you?
It's not really cold. I just don't like the wind.
Coach Vic, I have bad news. When you ride on a motorcycle, the wind blows.
I know, that's why I'm wearing my long sleeve and flannels when it's cool. I just don't like being the wind cold. She looks all cozy.
Next time you see us, we'll be near Lake Talquin. We won't bore you with the same old stuff. We're gonna grab the interstate though for a little ways just to get on the west side of town, and we'll hop on whatever state road they put us on. You ready?
Yes, I am.
Let's load this woman up and get going. All right, so as we leave beautiful Leon County and go into Gadsden County, we are heading over just near the city of Quincy. In fact, when we talk about Lake Talquin, which we will be talking about as we draw just a little bit closer, we'll talk about how it derived its name and all that good stuff. But before we get going too much into all this, if you would, click that like, give it that big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're not a subscriber. Share this content on your favorite social media platform. Now, speaking of social media, I want you to know there is a new one out there that I have recently gotten on. And I'd heard some good things about it by a friend of mine. It is called MeWe. And it's kind of like Facebook was when it started out. You know how Facebook can be controversial and, all the political stuff and people just being kind of mean, I'm going to stay on Facebook. I'm not going to leave. So if you stay on Facebook and you don't download MeWe, you're going to be just fine. You're going to get all the information. But if you do want to follow me, it will be Coach Bob 3 on MeWe. And MeWe is more, we'll just say it's a little more nice. It's a lot of family pictures and just not a lot of discussion about the topics of the world. It's more about just like Facebook, like I said, like Facebook started out, where it was just more social. Another thing that I was contending with earlier today, and it's been a real nightmare of a day, is I ran an update on my iMac, and man, woo, hard drive crashed, thought I lost everything. I spent 8 hours today getting the old iMac up and running, so I sure am glad I got this thing, because I really thought I was going to be out $2,000 for another iMac, and I spent probably 6 hours on the phone with Apple support today. And I got to tell you, they were very patient with me, and they really helped me out a lot. So kudos to Apple support folks. They really did help me. It was funny, they wanted to kind of timeshare my screen, but being the hard drive had crashed, we couldn't really get to anything. So what they did is I set my iPad behind me and put it in the camera mode and allowed them to look through my camera at what I was doing on my iMac. It was pretty cool. But anyway, it's up and running, so definitely a tragedy averted. Also, here in the next few days, I'm going to be picking up the new Steed, the new motorcycle. Yes, I'm going to get a new motorcycle. I will be doing an unveiling of what it is, what it looks like, and the reason I got it, and all that stuff. But suffice it to say, I will not, I promise you this, I will not be cutting back on the Can-Am material. My Spyder has my heart, as you all know, but I love riding all kinds of machines, and I am going to be adding to the channel, and hopefully you'll want to go along for the ride, pun intended. We had a subscriber here recently leave a message down below, and you got to realize is that a lot of the subscribers on this channel are guys like us, the ones who have been in the business a long time and they're looking to retire, or they've already retired. This is from Wayne. Now, what Wayne wrote was, I've been watching your videos and they've helped me put Florida at the top of my list of states to retire. Florida is also much financially friendlier state for retirees than up here in New York. Any chance you could give some thought about doing a video on your views, your opinions, and general knowledge about retiring in Florida? Wayne, I am flattered that you would say that, and I want to let you know I do have a little bit of knowledge on that because I am retired here in Florida. I do like it here. Is it my first choice? It's mine and Coach Vic's first choice. My first choice, honestly, and I'm just being brutally honest, and Coach Vic knows this, I would be living in my hometown of Valdosta, Georgia. That's where I would be. The cost of living is unbelievably low. You can buy a house in Valdosta, a really nice house, for less than $200,000, and the property taxes are nothing. Gas cost is less. You do pay a state income tax, but once you get over a certain age, you don't even have to do that. But the tax rate in Georgia and the cost of living, certainly in South Georgia, is even lower than where I am now. Now that said, let's talk about Florida. The benefits, the pros, and the cons about living in Florida, because there are a few of both. First, let's talk about the one big one that motorcycle people always say to me, especially those from north of the Mason-Dixon line for all you history buffs. You can ride all year round here, and it is absolutely beautiful. Certain parts of the state tend to rain more, and so rain becomes your big oppressor when it comes to having the freedom to ride all the time. But cold, no matter where you are in the state, there is not one city within the state of Florida that you could buy a home in and not be able to ride all year round. That's just a no-brainer. You can do it. And anything south of Macon in Georgia, and I would say that Dothan area in Alabama, and probably all the way up to Jackson in Mississippi, you can ride all year round. You'll have cold days. I mean, we do have the occasional teens and that sort of thing, but they are actually what I would call very rare and occasional. So there's the riding thing. Now, Florida is vastly different. When you look at the panhandle of Florida where we are, ooh, there's a restaurant right there. When you look at the panhandle of Florida, it is a lot different than the rest of the state. And so what it looks like here is green, trees, flat land, straight roads, and you do have to remember, Florida is, in fact, the flattest state in the Union. It really is. It doesn't mean we don't have rolling hills, because we do. And as flat as this area seems around here as we ride, and it certainly flattens out even more as we get towards the coast, when you're further north up towards Monticello, Florida, it's a lot of rolling hills as you enter South Georgia and southern Alabama. That's where we are. The panhandle just under Alabama and just under parts of Georgia. and that part of the state is more, it's more like southern Georgia and southern Alabama than it is than what most people envision Florida to be. Check this out, man. Houses are affordable down here. And, for a guy in New York, if you sell your house, a jackknife, if you sell your house up there, let me get off this thing, check, make sure I didn't do any damage. Yeah, looks good. That's that plastic piece I was telling you about right there, y'all. Completely forgot it was there because I'm a knucklehead. All right, we're all good. You can buy a house, even a waterfront house here, for that $500,000 to $600,000, which to me is a lot of money. I'm just going to be honest with you. I know friends of mine in California and some of my more northern friends laugh at me when I say that's a lot of money, but here, that's a lot of money. A friend of mine is putting his house on the market. It is 3,500 square feet. The house is absolutely beautiful. He has a exceptionally beautiful pool. He has over 2,000 square feet of covered back patio with the screen room over the swimming pool, and it's on a pond. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. The neighborhood is 5-star. So for mid-500s, you can get something like that here. Now, the house that I'm in that you see is somewhere just south of $300K. So not real expensive. So you can live in a nice neighborhood in a house that's 2,000 square feet heated with a half-acre yard and a nice privacy fence. For mid-200s, you can do that pretty easily here. And if you're willing to do a little sweat equity, as we call it, you can buy a house for way less than that. Now, Florida obviously does not have a state income tax, and that's a cool thing. Tax rate, different local tax structures. Our sales tax here is 7.5%. Gas costs here in Tallahassee, they're pretty much 20 cents, 15 to 20 cents a gallon more here than it is 65 miles down the road in Valdosta, Georgia. But it's still reasonable. It's still way less than what we paid when we were, out west. So the cost of gas, the cost of groceries, the cost of your home is very reasonable. And I'm speaking of the Panhandle. Now, I'm not speaking of South Florida. I'm talking about the Panhandle. Now, this is Lake Talquin off of our nose. We're going to turn around and run down by a little marina. But we thought you might want to see what some of the waterside houses look like here. They're really quite beautiful, and they have a lot of land with them. So it's a really nice place down here. We really do like it. Now, of course, anytime you get near the water in Florida, you're going to be dealing with bugs, that sort of thing. That's just the very nature of it. So, bring your bug spray or your Avon Skin So Soft, as my mom would do in the 70s. But Lake Talquin, the name Talquin is not some sort of exotic name. It comes from the first 3 letters of Tallahassee, T-A-L, and the first 4 letters of Quincy, Q-U-I-N. So Talquin, that's how Lake Talquin got its name. And in the 1920s, an electric company built a hydroelectric dam on the Otlocny River. And when they dammed that up, that's what created Lake Talquin. And in the area here, Talquin is a very common thing, or Talquin Electric Cooperative, that sort of stuff. Those things are here, and so you're used to the name Talquin. But one of the things that put Lake Talquin on the map, sadly, was a tragedy that occurred here in 1962. 17 children and their Sunday school teacher drowned in a small boat. It was amazing. There were 7 of the children were from ages 5 to 14, and the adult that was on there was their Sunday school teacher, and they were riding around the lake. Again, a lot of people in that boat, 18 people in a 16-foot john boat. So you do the math. Anyway, they get out there, the boat sunk, and they were only like 300 feet off of the shore, but they panicked. And that's what the sheriff had said, that the kids panicked. I would imagine most of them did not know how to swim. And panicking, I'm telling you, on a motorcycle also will get you killed. But they could have reached out to the boat, because although the boat capsized, it did not sink. So remember, when you're out doing things on your motorcycle and you're doing things in life, make sure you plan and you prepare and you don't panic. Now, that does not take away from the beauty that is Lake Talquin. So just enjoy this lovely lake in northern Florida. Man, what an awesome place down here. Super homey feeling. The people were really nice. If you noticed the guy in the little golf cart that we were pulling up by, we stopped and had a little conversation with him. Man, everybody in this area is just real small town homey feeling. So we're going to stop in a little place called Country Boys. It is a true mom and pop operation, and we look forward to eating there. I'm going to get me some fried catfish, y'all. I love that stuff. You can go get me some cheese grits, too. I like that kind of stuff. I'm looking to up my cholesterol. So next stop, Country Boys. Let's get us some grub. All right, we have arrived. Not a moment too soon.
We're here, Lake Talquin.
It was a little different than you expected.
See, my brain was thinking Three Rivers State Park.
Three Rivers is
further west.
It is.
She's
a stranger in a foreign land.
We're going to eat at Country Boys now, and we're going to enjoy the ambiance.
You ready? I want
And
to
the
see you push across
company.
this dirt.
Oh, I can't push across dirt.
Oh, you're doing it. Because I ain't helping. So much got there, Chuck Wagon.
Okay, I'm not Chuck Wagon.
Get your feet fixed.
Gotta get balanced.
I'll help you.
No, you're not helping.
1, 2, 3.
No, no, no. You're not helping. No, you're not. Why? See, I could have done it myself.
You could have. But why would you do that when you've got me here? 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's a little sandiness right there. I want to make sure we were. All right. Hi, how are you? All right, well, thank you. Ooh, we got a little football going on. That's Georgia Tech and Notre Dame, just to let you know. My two favorite teams are the Georgia Bulldogs and whoever's playing Notre Dame.
Oh, so right now you like Georgia Tech?
Yeah. Okay, so we got this little it's butter with chives in it.
Butter with chives.
Put that on your cracker. People with cholesterol problems shouldn't eat this.
I know my cholesterol was high, but I was also told by somebody if you eat a lot of fatty food with cholesterol before the blood work, your cholesterol is high. And I really was bad. I did parties that week. I don't normally eat a lot of high cholesterol food.
Okay.
It's not that high though.
So anyway, here's the runaround of the plate. Country Boys. I got the fried catfish nuggets with cheese grits and french fries.
I got it.
By the way, the waitress told me good choice. She didn't say that to Coach Vic.
I got the the fried shrimp with coleslaw and cheese grits.
Okay.
What do you normally say coleslaw?
Coleslaw without the L. And the funny thing, the waitress, I was enunciating coleslaw. She thought I said cold slaw. Potato fries as an appetizer. For all your northerners up there, I would love a really hot bowl of soup right now in this 70-degree weather.
Biggest problem on the way in here was I was starting to sweat.
Yeah. But it's actually colder in this restaurant than it is outside.
Yeah. You enjoying your sweet potato fries?
Yes, I am. They're sweet.
For potatoes. Don't put any salt on yours, you have hypertension.
I hang around with you all day long.
Coach Vic wants hyper-attention.
I do not. I don't seek attention.
Why not?
I'm very content with quietness.
So that's why you married me.
No, it is not quiet. When Coach Bob's gone, it is not quiet. Never, ever, 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 ever. What is that you're using? Tartar sauce on your sweet potatoes?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. No.
Oh, that's good. The tartar sauce on your sweet potatoes?
Negative. No, that's nasty. I need maple syrup for something.
Well, you know what they use to make maple syrup? Tartar sauce.
Yeah. That's pretty nasty. No. So the ride was good on the way here. It wasn't quiet, it was good.
Why'd you talk so much?
I didn't, I listened. About the philosophy of life.
Was I philosophizing?
Always.
Ooh, nice.
Thank you.
It's quite a bit of shrimp there, girl.
Catfish.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, it's quite a bit of catfish.
Yep. Don't get short with me.
I won't get
Don't get
short.
short with me, shrimp.
I need a fork. Oh, look at there.
Here, we can pull that plastic off from you.
Oh, did you see on purpose? That's a tall man over there.
Now that Coach Vic has started eating, let me go ahead and bless the food. You've got to think of his food using verse of how you make Coach Vic big and strong. You love your Jesus name, amen.
Here's some missing hush puppies. You only got one of these.
Appreciate it. All right, thank you. You took that big old thing and you gave me that little old bitty.
Okay, have two. The catfish is good.
So our daughter's got a little party going on at church where her husband is a
Children's minister.
children's minister. So we're going to swing by there and check out their little potty.
Then we'll go home and chill. I don't have any pressing responsibilities.
Coach Vic's over there scamming. What you doing, Coach Vic?
Got me some bracelets. Early Christmas presents. So excited.
For the girly girls, and maybe me too.
I don't get nothing?
The girly bracelets, not for the guys. Great cashier. I mean, a great waitress over here. And cashier.
And jewelry
Superb
maker.
Service. And jewelry maker. Yes, I got my. She's a Vicky. I'm the Vicky. She's Vicky's are good.
That's right. You throwing stuff on the ground again? You got them?
I need that copy. And then
Man, that was good. Man, that's scary good right there. Oh my goodness, I could take a nap. I'm like a tick about to explode. She doesn't even know I'm back here. Okay, so you didn't even know where I was. Look at you. You walked right by me.
Where were you?
I was sitting right there in that chair taking a nap almost.
I didn't even see you.
You should have heard the snoring.
Oh my gosh, I keep dropping everything.
I'll pick it up. So as we roll out of Country Boys and head back towards Tallahassee, I just want to take this opportunity once again to ask you to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. And man, I want you to know we really do appreciate it. You know, it is a beautiful day, and let's get back to the question about retirement in Florida. And also, I want you to understand, if you're a younger person watching this, you really need to pay attention because you do look at where you're going. You know, if you don't have a target out there, if you're not looking at where you're going, you're just kind of firing out into the darkness. You need to have a goal. You need to have a direction. Think about how you're going to retire, when you're going to retire, and where you're going to retire. And then find people who have actually accomplished it and go to that person and ask them what they did in order to accomplish that goal. Why reinvent the wheel and risk getting it wrong? There are a lot of people out there with a lot of knowledge that can help you on your path to retirement. Now, I'll get off my soapbox and let's continue talking about retirement in Florida. Now, the Tallahassee area, if you like this type of terrain, and I do like this type of terrain quite a bit, is a nice place to live. So you're in Florida, you don't have the state income tax, cost of living is reasonable, and you can ride all year round. And the entire northwestern panhandle of Florida is like this. In fact, when you get north of I-10 all the way across the state, it's pretty much like this all the way across until you get on the other side of I-75. When you get on the east side of I-75, things start to change, especially if you're north of the interstate. Things getting real swampy. You start looking at the Okefenokee Swamp and things like that are up in that area. And then, of course, you start approaching the East Coast, the Atlantic Ocean. Now, I will tell you, cost of living is reasonable along the East Coast when you get down around Flagler County and Volusia County, and that is better known as Palm Coast, Daytona, Ormond Beach, that sort of thing. Cost of living is quite reasonable in those areas, but one thing you have to think about is the cost of homeowners insurance. You start looking at floods, you start looking at hurricanes, and that sort of thing. So personally, I really do like the Palm Coast area. I think it scares Coach Vic a little bit because she is a South Florida person who did live through the Hurricane Andrews and that sort of thing. So I think we'll probably pass on that. But I will say that I like Palm Coast, Florida a lot. And you can get somewhat inland in that area and be safe and be protected. And the cost of living is very, very reasonable. It is side by side comparable with the Tallahassee area. And over there, you're 10 minutes, 15 minutes from the beach. You've got some beautiful riding up and down the coast. And it really feels more like Florida over there than it does here. Now, if you stay on the western side of Florida, as you go down into Florida, you've got Naples and Tampa and that sort of stuff. When you get further south, the cost starts to go up. Once you get south of Tampa and once you get south of Orlando, home values and that sort of thing, it starts getting a little more expensive. The population down there is much more dense, and so you're going to be looking at houses that are probably 40% more money to get the same thing in those areas. Now, when you get on the west coast, though, north of Tampa, you're looking at Gainesville and Chiefland and Lamont and those smaller towns, and it is beautiful out there. But there again, it's going to feel more swamp and bog than it is beach in Florida. Now remember, swamp and bog is as much of Florida as beach is. It's just not something that, they put on postcards and people aren't really interested in saying, hey, you can hang out in this area right here and you can go fishing and hopefully you don't get eaten by a gator. I'm just kidding. Gators don't eat that many people. I've swam in water that I knew there were alligators in it, and I know that probably sounds crazy, but as kids, we did it all the time. We didn't even think about it. You saw an alligator, you just somewhat avoided them, and you just swam and did your thing. It's funny, we've got a little area of the Wassissa River. We've shown you some pictures of it. In the Wassissa, there are gators out there. There's a floating dock in one area out there where there's a spring, and you'll see this 8-foot gator laying on the dock up there, and you're just out there swimming. And when you see him get in the water, you do get a little bit nervous, I will say that. But anyway, back to the point. Enough of my rambling. So the cost of living on the east side and the west side of Florida is very reasonable north of Orlando and Tampa. So the middle parts of Florida, that's what I would call the forgotten parts of Florida. They're very rural, very farm-rich area. I have a lot of family members that are from, as I showed you, Palatka, Stark, Lake Butler, those areas. Those are areas that are rich in culture, rich in history, but not crowded. And I will say that a lot of folks that I do know that have moved to those areas later in life said they felt like an outsider. And I can see how that would happen because people there are polite to you, but they know each other and they've known each other their whole life. And so you can feel that way, even though they don't feel like you're an outsider. It's very easy to have that feeling and that perception that I'm not one of them. I'm not one of the guys. So I think that's the only downside of living in that part of Florida. But it is absolutely beautiful, and there is a lot there. When you start getting in the middle of Florida like that, there are a lot of springs and sinkholes and cool things that are there to see. The springs, man, there are just springs everywhere, and they are crystal clear. Just a few years ago, I took Coach Vic down to the Itchituckney Springs, and it was so nice. You would see an area that you like, man, I can't dive here. I'll hit my head on the bottom, and you could barely get to the bottom. It's just so clear. It's just absolutely crazy what it looks like. So there you have it. I think Florida is a great place to retire, and that's why I'm here. So I don't think you can go wrong. Well, we're pulling up to the church. We're going to hang out with the kids for just a little while, and then we're going to head home. So let's wrap things up here by saying this. This week, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to go out, buy the motorcycle of your dreams, eat right, take care of yourself, and remember, if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. Now you go seize the day, and we'll talk to you real soon. And hey, hopefully we'll see you on the road in just a flash. See you.